of the Nigerian society. This has been evidential, he says. But some media platforms deliberately misquoted, let me jump, it as endorsing violence by uniformed officers against members of the public. Where a public officer acts contrary to the provisions of extant laws, there are channels to report such conduct and get justice, prompt justice, particularly in the Nigerian police force. In the extant case, the individuals resorted to self-help and assaulted the officers, attempted to snatch the officers' firearms, and in so doing breached the law. What did he say? I don't understand.
Well, the fact remains that he actually misrepresented himself or misrepresented his role as a PRO. I think one thing that people should always understand is when crisis situation happen, you see, in crisis, public relations, the first thing that you need to do is empathy. Don't try to put up a solidarity for self. What he was doing in that tweet of his was essentially a solidarity for self and not showing empathy. The first would have made more sense if he had also reined in the police officer and say, we are going to ensure that this officer is appropriately investigated, and if found guilty will be dealt with. However, that would have been a better way to go about it than the way. And it's not just the first thing. It's not the first time. Many times when you see crises happen, I don't know what happens with our public institutions. It's always it's a face-saving mechanism that you see them try to do. That place of empathy is always out of it. And when you remove empathy from whatever crisis, relations you are doing, you are going to create more problem.
And we emphasized this yesterday when we said it is obviously trite that two wrongs cannot make a right. As such, whatever the provocation, the action of the individuals were wrong in all ramifications, as they would have reported the matter for prompt action. We emphasize that two wrongs do not make. So we're not asking people to go out there and start collecting AK-47 rifles from the police.
When he made that other
you cannot do that. You cannot do that and be justified by whatever means. Even if a policeman has slapped you and then what to do next is to be struggling the rifle.
That's so dangerous.
You cannot do that. That's not right. But the point I was making yesterday, which I think a lot of people also have made, is that it wasn't really proper for the FPRO to say that if a policeman slaps you,
using the word slap even is,
you don't have a right to slap him back. The point is, a policeman shouldn't slap anyone.
Exactly.
There's what they call, a minimum force that you can use to restrain people.
They're actually rules of engagement.
They're ROE, and slapping is not part of the ROE. In whatever form.
Yes.
You're supposed to arrest. So if anybody has done something wrong, infraction, or anything against the law, as an officer, you arrest the person.
You recall that there was a video that trended of some civilians who were assaulting the police officer, and the man did not touch.
He did not touch. Yes.
And you need to see, the uproar against these individuals and the support that the police officer got.
Exactly.
Many even calling that he deserves. So now what?
Yes.
That's to tell you that the public is not they are not inconsiderate to the feelings of the Nigerian police or the Nigerian police officer who is out there.
Often armed against them.
Exactly. So when you now make tweets, as Adejobi did, what you are doing is that you are sending a message that you are reinforcing police brutality, as it were, which is not the right way to go.
And it's odd that this man is PR, means public relations, and I don't know if he really knows his job that well. If you take this kind of situation and you turn it into this, you have to be mindful of what you say, and mindful is your job as PR to be mindful that what
because
you say, you communicate what you want to say.
You are the mouth
exactly.
of your institution, and whatever you say will be taken as an official position.
Yes, maybe you should have done a video to explain as opposed to just tweeting.
I made mention of the case, the last mile video that also trended, I think on Friday, Saturday on Twitter. And he quickly responded saying, that matter is being investigated. All the officers involved have been, summoned to the headquarters, only for last man to come out and say, this video was a 2020 video. And you now begin to place the two, begin to juxtapose his own position vis-a-vis that of last man. Then you are asking, okay, where is the problem? Was it that there was no interagency synchronization before you came out to say this. So it begins to look like he's just out there to defend, like I called it yesterday, solidarity of the men in blue.
Yes, yeah.
A story that I really love to talk about, I think we should play an audio. NDLEA seizes 194 billion cocaine in Lagos.
Wow.
Arrest 5. And if you see this touch of packs of cocaine in front of these,
and the biggest ever in the history of Nigeria.
The NDLEA on Monday busted a major warehouse where 1.8 tons of illicit drugs worth $1 million, an equivalent of about 194 billion naira. Wow. So let me play what the officer said, the NDLEA officer said on this matter.
Okay. You have here, it's 1.855 tons of raw cocaine. We had some concealed or filled in these 10 buses, and the others shipped in those drums. I'm sure you can see the drums over there. This is the highest singular seizure of cocaine in the history of this agency. What you have here comes to over $278 million, which is street value. If you convert that to Nigerian naira, you are talking of over 194 billion naira. And the men you find behind there, they are members of an international syndicate that the agency has been on their trail since 2018. And just lo and behold, in few days, by the grace of God, we were able to track them down to this building. This building, the man, please, I'm not talking to you. This building, it looks unoccupied, but then it's a warehouse for this international cartel. And we are glad that this has brought an end to the operation.